Good afternoon, guys. How's it going? Here we are on this hump day, Wednesday. Here we are in the Camaro gurus, I guess we kind of are.
We're the experts.
We're the experts. There you go. A lot of people kind of consider us different things, I guess, in the Camaro world. Hey, as long as you're talking about us, we're good with that. But today we got for you are some badging and accessories and kind of simple stuff like that that some of you guys have kind of thought about doing. Maybe thinking about debadging the car, taking the SS off, taking the little, I like to call them little chiclets off on the side, the little GM badges on some of the early 2010s, 2011s. They have the little ones down on the bottom of the fender. The 6th gens, they have the one a little bit about midway on the fender. So we've thought about replacing ours too as well. You know, I mean, we have the black version of it. We have the chrome version of them. Like here's the stock one. I kind of show you guys. I kind of started without you guys, but I took the stock one off, and I'll show you in a little bit what it looks like with the black version on. We went ahead and went with the black version of these the Camaro. It's kind of the heritage version. It's got the little same red, white, and blue concept on there. So it's got that on there. They're also available in chrome. Now these are just regular flat badges that can mount to really kind of any flat surface. So you know, for you 5th gen guys that you kind of like this heritage look, heritage logo, you can still go with it yourself as well. They're designed for the 6th gen, since obviously the 6th gen has the heritage already built into the factory one. But any flat surface they'll fit on, so you shouldn't have a problem putting them on your car anywhere you really kind of want. I've seen some guys put them on the interior, some guys put them on the fender. They're meant for the fender. Some other guys put them in random different places under the hood and stuff like that. Here's the kind of the instructions that kind of come with it. I kind of read through it, and to me, it's a little hard to decipher. I guess I'm not an engineer, but it's a little hard to decipher. So I kind of use my own method that I've done for years, is mask everything off with some blue painter's tape and mark it and go from there. So also, that comes with the kit, so that's part of it. So if you guys want to follow the instructions, they tell you exactly where to go and how to put it. Left and driver's side and passenger side work the same. So that's what you got there. Those are the Camaro badges. For the 5th gen guys, there's also different styles of Camaro badges. There's some from Defender Works and stuff like that have these different options. There's also the Red Line Edition versions that we have. And for you 2017 guys, there's also the 50 that's available as well. So something to kind of think about. We have those available on the website. Go check them out when you guys got a second. Pretty cool, like little emblems. But moving on, we have the factory black bow ties. A lot of the 6th gen guys, you guys want these black bow ties, and we get asked a lot, is there a vinyl that kind of covers over it? Here's the reason why we don't do a vinyl. These bow ties are textured. If you go out to your car, you'll be able to tell. But on this one here, I'm showing you, they're textured. Unfortunately, the vinyl doesn't stick all that well to a texture, and that's one of the reasons why we don't do it, is because it won't last as long as it probably should, or you would assume that it would be. Like the 5th gens, they have a smooth surface, so the vinyl is able to stick to it very well and go from there. So some of the other accessories are like a fuel door. We got the black bow ties, and then we got the fuel doors for the 6th gen. For the 6th gens and 5th gens, fuel doors are different. I've had the question asked, you know, will these fuel doors fit on my 5th gen? Unfortunately not. I love the design, and I really wish they had a 5th gen design that looks similar to this for you guys. But unfortunately, these are only for the 6th gen. So they're available in silver. And this is a silver insert. I know probably in the camera it might look a little white, but it is silver. It is silver. They have the black, the red, and the carbon version. Now this is real carbon fiber. Show you the back side of it. It is real carbon fiber. So give you guys an idea of that. Now what we did, and we've had this question asked also, are these inserts removable? Yes, they are. So what we did is we took our fuel door that we had on the car, we took it and we had it painted. So we had it painted to match our white. So it might be one of those things that we're actually going to kind of look into and see maybe we might offer one day. So stay tuned for that. We might be doing color match for you guys and go from there. But like I said, I'll show you how to put those on. I'll show you how to debadge the car. We're going to take the SS off the back bumper. We're going to take the little chiclet off on the side, on the fender, and we're going to go ahead and replace it. I already got this side done, so if you guys want to see what it looks like, I can show you here, and then we'll go to the other side and we'll show you how to do it. Now, we basically replaced the factory emblem, which sits right about here center, and we replaced it with the Camaro. Now, like I said, any flat surface, these will have no problem sticking to. So all you do is you mark it where you want everything. I'll show you where I did on the other side. I'll show you how I did it. And on this one, all you do is line it up, stick it in place. You peel the transfer paper or transfer tape that's sticking to it already, and you peel that, and there you go. Press it down. Not going to have a problem out of it. They're held on with double-sided tape, just like a factory emblem is. I'll show you how to go ahead and take that off here once we get started. See here, any questions before we go ahead and get started, Jason?
No questions yet, man.
No questions yet? All right. Not a problem. Let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the badges, basically, essentially. I'm going to keep the bow tie because I like the breakup of our bow tie, but the same concept to take off this bow tie is the same for the fender badge and for the SS. So we're going to start off small here. We have the SS badge. We're going to go ahead and remove this. I'm going to show you guys how to do that pretty easily. And once we clean the surface, we're just going to go ahead and leave it plain. So we're going to take our SS off, and we're going to leave it plain. I like the smooth body look myself personally, so we're going to go ahead and see what that looks like. Now I have a couple of tools here. These are kind of tools of the trade. These are kind of for applying different vinyls and emblems and stickers and stuff like that. So, but if you don't have something like this, you can take some fishing line, trying to think of what else.
Usually like a heat gun.
Like a heat gun or something like that. I'm not going to use a heat gun right now, just because I don't have it out here for me. But a heat gun does make it a lot easier because it softens the glue behind it. But as I'm going to show you, it's really not that difficult if you don't have a glue gun or a heat gun to soften that glue. Fishing line obviously is going to be a little bit easier than these, only because that fishing line is able to get back here down in the center, and you're able to cut the entire double-sided tape that's there. So all I do with these, I get them down here in the back side of it.
Now, obviously, guys, you're going to want to use something plastic to do. Like he said, fishing line's a great idea. We use these little vinyl pliers, basically, because they are plastic, so they're not going to scratch up our paint.
Right.
At the same time, you'll notice that when he's doing this, he's actually working it and pulling it back at the same time, not really trying to pretty much push too hard against the body, but that's kind of gives you an idea of what he's doing to take this off.
And once I get kind of about halfway through it, guys, I usually go up and down at that point. You want to kind of attack it from different sides, so that way you can kind of cut as much of that double-sided tape as easily as you can. You guys can see, kind of wiggle back and forth. It's already coming loose right there. Last bit of double-sided tape, holding on, and there we go. So that's just removing basically the SS emblem. Now the same applies to any SS emblem that's stuck to a body piece. So some of you fishing guys that have the RS or the SS, they're here off on the, I believe they're on the trunk.
They're on the trunk.
I believe. If they're here off on the trunk, same thing applies. They're held on with double-sided tape. So all you got to do now is we're going to go ahead and take this extra tape, it's kind of still stuck on there, and we're going to take some adhesive remover and we're going to clean it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to simply take that off, some adhesive remover, some Goo Gone. It's going to work out perfectly. Take all that stuff off. So I already have this over
So guys,
here.
let's show. A lot of people ask, what do we do for adhesive remover?
Yeah.
What we like to use is this is the 3M general purpose adhesive cleaner.
Yeah.
You can find it at your local auto parts store.
Yeah. Any local auto parts store can get it for you. All I do is I take a little bit of it, take a rag here, and I apply it up top. What it's going to do is going to soften the glue. Is what it's going to do. And then once it softens the glue enough, you're able to kind of scrape it off, pick it off. I usually kind of take my finger and I kind of dig at it a little bit. Not deep enough to where you're going to go through the paint or the clear or anything, but enough to where you're going to scrape the excess double-sided tape off. You guys can see it's already coming off pretty easy. So we'll go ahead and get that done. And adhesive remover works out pretty well, and that's what we use, and we've used it for years. Never had a problem out of it. It's not going to diminish any paint. Some people say it kind of diminishes paint. I've never ran into an issue with it ever diminishing any kind of paint. I mean, that's adhesive remover. That's what it does. Now, if you do use a paint thinner, then that's something a little different.
Yeah, you really don't want to use a paint thinner.
You don't want to use a paint thinner. So make sure it's adhesive remover. something that, like I said, not going to damage. That's something that's not going to damage the paint itself or the clear or anything like that. Like I said, we'll continue just kind of working at it.
Yeah, it does strip the wax.
Yeah, that it will do.
Which is what you kind of want, also, guys. So if you're sticking, you know, an emblem on anywhere on your Camaro, the one thing you kind of want to do is either if you're not using an adhesive remover, you definitely want to make sure you use some kind of applicator to stick the
new emblems in place.
Exactly.
You know, and what the new applicator, since you talked about it, they give you some of the alcohol pads to put these new emblems back on. So it
do these emblems that we have, like, do they come with the alcohol?
Yes.
They do. Okay, good deal.
Yeah, I didn't have it there, but I do have it off to the side. But yes, it does come with it. So once we get that surface nice and clean, or nice and removed of everything, I usually take like a water bottle or something. This is glass cleaner. Kind of works the same. I'll take a clean cloth and I'll just wipe it down and make sure.
Harry says WD-40 works good for getting that off. Yeah, it does help soften it up.
Now you guys can see, I don't know if you can kind of see here, there's still the little bit of glue that's still kind of there. So we'll go ahead and work at that a little bit later, and we'll get that nice and clear, and that'll essentially just kind of go away once we get it got cleaned up. But we'll go ahead and move on to the badging. We'll go ahead and put that new badging back in place, or put the Camaro badging in place, and show you how to take off that little chiclet. That little chiclet comes off the same way as the SS emblem. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll get it all lined up.
Now here's the thing, guys. If you don't have a tool like Ricardo's using here, you can go to like your local Harbor Freight or even like your auto parts store, and they'll sell you a emblem remover. It's basically what it is. It's going to be a plastic. Most of the time they're blue. Whenever you go to find them at the auto parts store,
right.
We just happen to have these. We use these a lot. They work out great.
Yeah.
So if you do get any vinyl stuff, and you get something like this, you want to hang on to it. It's a great tool for future use. Definitely.
I have a whole bunch of them in the toolbox. As you can see, this one's been used quite a bit. But I have some of these newer ones that are essentially in similar condition, and they work out great. Never had a problem out of them. Okay, so guys, what I did already on this side is I already kind of marked off where I'm going to put the new emblem. I took the entire fender here. This is how I do my badges and installs. I take a piece of painter's tape. I line it up where I originally want it. I like the line of the original emblem, so I'm going to go ahead and put the new one back in place. So I like the line there. So what I did was I took the center line of the emblem. I marked it here on the painter's tape. And I took a blue piece of painter's tape all the way off to the side, so that way I can come back with the new emblem, put it right back in place. I marked the center line of the new emblem, and I basically put it right back in place, so it looks kind of like a factory install. Like I said, they give you a template. I couldn't decipher it. Kind of looked like an engineer made it, but I'm not an engineer, so I couldn't really read it all too well. But I mean, they were good instructions. So we'll go ahead and get this one off and show you how to put the new ones on. Now, same thing as the SS. We'll start off on the side and just work our way back and forth. The reason I start on the side, or the reason I do two, the reason I do two is because if I just did one and I started working on this side, this side of the emblem is going to end up going down. Okay. Now, what happens when that goes down is that's going to dig into the paint right there. So something to kind of keep in mind. If you only have one of these, find something else you can kind of put off here on the side, so that way when you start on one side, it's not going to dig into the paint on the other side. It's something to think about, or also keep in mind. Now, as I said earlier, a heat gun will make these emblems come off a little bit easier. I didn't take it out, but not a problem. So, what we got here, as you can see, starting to move around. Side to side, and like I said, You just do, all I do is side to side, up and down, work our way through it. It ends up coming off. Was holding on this one. I kind of experienced on the same on the other side as well. That it had a big, nice piece of tape stuck really well on the center. There we go. There we go. There's the emblem. That's off. So what I'll do is I'll get some of our adhesive remover and we'll clean that off and we'll put the new emblem in place.
Perfect. Mark, I use dental floss to remove the emblem. It's a good choice. Mint flavor smells good too, doesn't it?
Did I hear that right? Mint flavor?
Mint flavored.
All right. What we'll do, we'll take our adhesive remover, put it on. And I kind of nicked the paint over here, I guess, when I was removing the other one. Or nicked the tape. The tape, sorry, not the paint. Last thing I want to do is nick the paint, you know? So, we'll get that over here. See how it already softened everything up. This is probably the longest part as far as taking an emblem off, especially one that's double-sided taped on, is getting this tape off, just because it really kind of sticks on there very well. They're meant to last, the lifetime of the car, so I would hope they're meant to stick on there very well. But a little bit of adhesive remover, some Goo Gone, some WD-40, someone said earlier, really kind of takes that stuff off, no problem. There we go. Now, after you, if you guys use a rag like I am, you will kind of need to wash that rag just because it is going to have some of the adhesive stuck on there. But once it dries, it usually kind of crumbles off. So, something to think about. Or keep in mind, I guess. So we've got that back. Let's see, we are clean right there. So then I'll go ahead and get some of the glass cleaner I have over here, and we'll clean that off and stick that emblem back on.
So obviously that's what it looks like now with the SS emblem off the back, nice and clean. Got a nice look to it.
So all I do is clean the surface, double check everything, make sure I don't have any glue remains or anything kind of remaining around. I kind of like to wipe it down, dry it, and then I'll spray it again just to make sure we are clear. So I'll clean the entire side, the entire fender, and like I said earlier, I already marked where I'm going to place the new one, and I already have it marked on the new emblem. That's the center line that I want to follow. I'm going to follow that center line. So all I'm going to do is peel the tape on the back. It's going to expose the double-sided tape for the new emblem. Take that, lay it off to the side. Take the new emblem, and I'm going to use the blue line as my center line for up, I guess, side-to-side movement. So that's what I'm going to use as my center line, so I'm going to follow that as best I can. I'm going to kind of get here to where I can see it.
You'll see that's clear, guys. So
yeah, and you'll see it. It's clear. You You guys might be able to tell. It's good you can tell on camera, but we're on right there. You can see it just on that blue painter's tape line. So then what we'll do, got that in place. Give that a nice push. Make sure that double-sided tape is going to stick on, and it should. And then there we go. Take our painter's tape, remove that, and just like that, we went from stock to a nice little custom look, nice little custom touch. And again, guys, this is one of those badges that's flat. So any flat surface you want to put it. I've seen guys put it on, like I said, on the dash. There's a couple of flat spots there that they've put it. Some guys have put it under the hood, which looks out pretty good with some of the accessories you guys have done. So some of the custom stuff that really kind of makes everything pop. These emblems really kind of go along very nicely with it. And again, they're available in the black, the chrome, and also the red line edition.
Which the red line is black with the red backing.
Right. Red line has the red backing. That's the only difference between the black one and the red line. That's really the only difference.
So now you got a nice clean look.
Yeah.
You know, we finished out the word Camaro on the side. We got rid of the little chiclets that were there.
Yeah. You know, so I mean, we got that going on. What we also want to kind of touch on, another little accessory that we kind of touched on last week, so some of you guys might have, if you all have tuned in, we'll put this off to the side, are the MGP Caliper Covers. You know, I know we kind of talked about it last week, and I know we kind of threw it out there that it can cost up to $1,000 or however much to have it done by the time, and that's by the time you're all said and done. Like we said, replacing the brake fluid, and paying someone for the labor, paying someone to do the calipers themselves. I know some of you guys came back and commented and posted saying that you got your calipers done for a couple $100, which is great, not a problem. But it also goes into the labor and everything that we were talking about. Maybe someone that's not going to do it themselves. Someone that's going to take it. You got the downtime of the car. You might have to get a rental. So that's all the kind of things we're kind of throwing everything in there. But as you can see, our car, let me kind of turn the light about here. Our car has had these on since last week, and we've driven a couple 100 miles. Now, the wheels are dirty because we've been driving it around. You know, the Houston roads aren't exactly the cleanest. But we make everything work, and these covers, they actually stayed fairly clean. You know, I haven't cleaned the car because I wanted to show you guys the car dirty and kind of real world driving experience that we did with the car. I want to say we drove it around the weekend. We drove it around a little bit more earlier this week, and we just haven't cleaned the car. So these still stayed very clean. No problems out of them. I know we've had some messages saying some people, the clips might have moved. I give them a little tip, show them this video and everything, and they've been pretty fine since then. So really, kind of everything works out pretty well, and it's a nice little accessory.
Yeah,
kind of like we're talking about here.
If your caliper covers are moving around, you might want to check your clips.
Yes, definitely double check those clips. That's really what I tell people all the time. Now let's see here. I think we have enough time to maybe show them the fuel door.
Yeah, let's show. Okay, well, I got a couple questions here.
Okay.
Both Robert and David, both of their Camaros are ceramic coated. They've had the
C-quartz.
The C-quartz done,
okay.
And they want to know if the emblems will stick.
The emblems will stick, but same thing kind of goes. That's kind of a higher end wax is really kind of how I like to consider it, generalize it. C-quartz is really kind of a higher end wax. So will it stick to that? Yes, but you're going to need to kind of do the same thing. You're going to kind of need to not use adhesive remover, but what's the other one we just mentioned? The cleaner, basically. You can take a little bit of adhesive remover, clean it, and take the alcohol pad, clean that as well, or clean the fender as well, and then you can stick it on from there. So it should still stick. What you're essentially having to do is just kind of deteriorate the C-quartz just a little bit, so that way you can get that emblem to stick in place. But you shouldn't have a problem.
Cool. Pat asked a question. What about the caliper behind the cover? Is it worse at holding dirt? No, it's not.
No. It is. There's kind of a myth, I guess you could say, that some guys are, well, it's going to retain a lot of the heat. It's going to keep a lot of the dust and everything in there. Well, that's really kind of a myth, because the dust and everything that comes off your brake pads is going to come out of the movement of the pad itself and on the top side of the caliper. So that's where a lot of you guys that maybe looked at you have your wheels and different color wheels, and you really kind of notice the inside of the barrel is very dirty. Well, it's because the brake pad dust comes out the top side and out the front or the top or bottom of the caliper, depending on which direction you're moving in. So will it retain a lot of the dust? It is going to hold some in there, but if you have it up against the caliper, it's really going to kind of not hold a lot in there. So that's kind of answer that question. Hopefully that answers you. If not, shoot us a message, give us a call. We're more happy to answer that. Any further questions you might have. So we'll go ahead and fuel door. Right, so fuel door. 6th gens are a little different from the 5th gens, but the 5th gens will kind of remove and install something a little similar. The 5th gens have fuel doors with locking with a locking door, so there's a little bit extra modification that you have to do to the pin that holds it in place. Other than that, essentially the fuel doors are going to install very similar. Now these are a GM fuel door, so the GM fuel door, it's not a locking fuel door. It's meant to go right back in place of the factory fuel door. So what we have here is that I've had a lot of guys tell me, well, man, I've tried pulling it, I've tried doing this and that. Well, a lot of guys kind of miss this little tab here. Some guys say, oh, I pushed it. Yeah, because you can push it, but you're not supposed to push it. Here's how you remove the fuel door. Take our flat blade screwdriver. I have a little pocket screwdriver. I get it right down in that little crack. I'll pull up on it. And then, there we go. So once you have that pulled up, it's going to release from here. Show you on the back side, that's what it looks like. So those teeth right there are locked into this one here. So those locked in there, that locks in there. You pull up on it and it releases them from there. So now that we have the factory fuel door off, we'll replace it with the 6th gen fuel door. Now, again, we had ours painted. Okay, we had ours painted to match white. We're getting ready for Camaro Fest, so we thought, why not accessorize the car a little bit? We have a few things to do since Camaro Fest is about 2 weeks away. Well, it's about 3 weeks away, actually, I think. But one of the things we wanted to do was have a painted fuel door just because we like the look, and we know some of you guys might like it as well. I've seen a lot of people go out there and take their pieces and customize it. But it is available in the silver, the black, the red, and the carbon fiber. And like I said, these can be removed so they can be painted. So we'll just take the factory aftermarket fuel door. We'll line it back up with the teeth on the back side here that are a little hard to see. We'll get it in place, and you can see it pushing up. That's pushing up right there. Locked in place. So now, I'm not going to be able to move it. I'll have to pull that back up if I want to remove the fuel door. And there's our fuel door installed.
Got a nice clean look. Matches the Camaro.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, also, you notice on these fuel doors that they do say Camaro in them. These are they're plastic. They're not a metal, so you know right off the bat.
Yeah, it's a plastic piece. And like I said, the inserts are removable. So if you wanted to customize it, you got some custom theme going on with your car. I know there's some guys that have wrapped their Camaros, and some guys that have done different things. So I mean, it's something that you can do in case you wanted that different look or different change. Let's say you have some custom MGP caliper covers and you want the fuel door to match. You can do that too.
You go with the red.
Yeah, you can go with red. You got the red there. Let's see here. That don't look too bad. Actually, no. That might not look too bad. Kind of give you guys an idea. It might look too bad. But that's what we got going for you guys today. Some simple mods, simple stuff that you guys may want to do. Some guys want to debadge the entire car. Yeah, we kind of showed you how to debadge the car. Like I said, on the 5th gens, the little checklist on the bottom, they're going to be the same to remove as the SS. SSs on the SSs and RSs on the 5th gen are going to be the same to remove as the one we did in the back. So you shouldn't have any problems. They're held on with double-sided tape. The bow ties on the 5th gen for the trunks are the same as the 6th gen. Held on with double-sided tape. Shouldn't have a problem. One thing I do want to mention is the bow ties on the rear of the 2010s. And it's got to be an early 2010. Early 2010 has a pinhole in the back. So something to kind of keep in mind for you guys that want to debadge the entire car, depending on what year you have. And it's only early 2010s. It's something GM did when the cars started first coming off the assembly line back in 2009. So something to keep in mind when you guys are debadging these cars or adding badges. Like I said, there's There's the larger SS emblems that are available for you 50N guys. So if you guys want on the trunk instead of replacing the bow tie, you can put the SS emblem. Good thing that's a factory one. We're not going back in the car with it. But that's essentially what we got for you guys today. You know,
Great,
so
man.
I hope this helped you all out. You know, and we'll see you guys next week. Tune in next week, and we might talk a little bit performance next week.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
All
for
right,
hanging
we'll
out
see
with
you
us
guys.
today.